Okay, I'm going to take the next 5 or 6 minutes and explain the 5v5+5. 15 players, obviously. You're looking at about a 40 by 25 yard playing area. Non-directional. The aim is to just keep possession with the help of the neutrals as long as possible. But what you're looking to get out of this activity, or at least what I'm looking to get out of this activity, are the three principles of possession, being spacing, talking, and awareness. As you can see, blue has the ball. Blue is in possession. Like I said, they have the help of our neutrals, the 5 in green. The 4 around the perimeter can only work their sideline, 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 sideline. And this one in the middle is free to roam the entire area. Obviously, this player should be very active and always sitting in passing windows and always showing himself or herself as an option. So the first principle, spacing. How do we get space? How do we reinforce spacing? Right now, the spacing from blue is pretty good. Often at times with larger possession games like this, when you get into your 5v5+5s or even positional rondos like 6v6+3 or large number of rondos, sometimes you see a little bit of chaos where the players don't want to use the entire space. And you'll ask them why, and they'll be like, oh, I'm just trying to find the ball. But doing this kills all the space available to you when your team is in possession, and spacing is key. So we need players staying wide, and staying wide. Because that allows, maybe if this player were to receive the ball, he can knock it out to this guy out wide, and then we've not only created space, but we've created more time on the ball. If this player had been closer, one player can cover this ground in 1 second. This guy can cover this ground in 1 second. Let's get farther apart. Maybe let's get 10, 15 yards apart. Play the ball, more time. You know, ask a player, would you rather have 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds? And they'll go, well, as much time as I can, coach. And, you know, that's how you start teaching the concept of spacing and showing your players how important it is. Second, talking. You know, I don't need to say much about this. If they're silent, possession is not going to be kept well for either team. Talking is important. I always talk about giving advice. You know, it's one thing for this player here to say ball, ball, ball. But after the ball is played, something I like teaching my players is giving advice. So what could this player say? You know, turn, you have John, or turn to your left, you have Max, or whatever. Giving advice is very important. Advice could also come from the next guy receiving the ball. That's another way of giving advice. So giving advice and calling for the ball, two major concepts of communication. The last one, awareness, right? Something I do with younger players and older players sometimes. I ask them to put their hands up on their face like they're looking through a window, essentially taking away your peripheral vision. So giving yourself tunnel vision. I'm like, is it easy to play like this? No, coach, it's not. What could you do? What could you do instead? And they'll take their hands down and they'll actively start noticing their peripheral vision and they'll start looking around more. And what we want to get out of this is checking your shoulder, probing, constantly probing. Even though this player might not be the immediate pass, what could he be doing or she be doing? They could be scanning, they could be looking around, constantly taking pictures, mental pictures, so they know what's around them. Xavi and Iniesta and Busquets from Barcelona. You know, if you watch a game and they're facing the ball and they're building out of the back, you see black and then you see white because you see with Xavi especially, because you see his hair and all of a sudden he'll turn around, you can see his white face. He's probing. He's looking around. He's constantly taking mental pictures of the field. So that's awareness, and awareness is obviously what I just said, more than just the player on the ball. Even if you're not the immediate pass, so if you're this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy out here, are you taking pictures? All right, that's the word. That's the phrase I like to use with my players. So that's it. That's really all I wanted to hit on. This is a quick video. I'm not sure if I talked about the dimensions, but about 40 by 30 yards is standard. You can make it slightly bigger or slightly smaller depending on the level of your players. Just make sure they're getting the appropriate level of challenge out of this. All right. Till next time.